COVID isolated outbreak. And though one COVID is like a match, and it spreads like a forest fire. So where does it come the point that we say, okay, we vaccinated enough, and we are now going to open our borders entirely?
All right.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the question a lot of people are asking. I remember that the initial announcement was October 1st. I don't know if there's been a change to that given the current situation.
The new circumstances.
Yeah, but October 1st is when we're saying that, and I think the hope was that by then we would have gotten to herd immunity. I do believe that there might have been an underestimation of just how many people would be hesitant about the vaccine. Because I think depending on what side of the fence you're on, it's almost like you acknowledge that. So, for instance, if you're not necessarily a fan of the vaccine, you believe that there's some people who are going to take it, and people decide based on whatever factors who they feel might take it. And then if you're somebody who's supporting the vaccine rollout, you acknowledge that there's going to be people who are hesitant. But I don't know if anybody on either side recognize how much people would be opposing.
Yeah, I don't think they put
right?
they factored in the fact that we'll have anti-vaxxers, and then we'll have people who would be skeptical, and then we'll have people who just because of the information that they feel like they haven't been getting, they don't know, they don't trust it,
No, but Jade, it goes. What I'm saying is, it goes both ways. There are people who literally can't believe the amount of people who done gone to get vaccinated, and that's what I'm saying. So it's because we are looking at these things through the prism of our own biases, right? It skews reality, right? And I think what's happening now is that we are really getting a view of where people stand on this issue, and so it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out going forward, because we are at 60% of what we hope to get to. It's not that we're at 60-something% and we're trying to get to 70%. And again,
we're at 60% of the 70%.
Of the target, right?
Yeah.
And so, and we're not seeing necessary. And I told y'all when we had the first case, the community spread, we're gonna see a boost. We're gonna see a jump, because there were people who literally their hesitancy was based on the fact that there was no community spread. It was not seen as an immediate threat. And so once that situation changed, I believe that a lot of those people decided, okay, weighing the options, I'm gonna go, right? I also believe that we're gonna have to now start changing the narrative, not necessarily the putting punishments in place or negatively reinforcing. I think the conversation now needs to get a bit more targeted. I think it needs to get a bit more real. So, for instance, I was talking to somebody who is, vaccine hesitant. I think it was on Monday. And we're having a conversation, and I'm doing the same thing. I'm listening to what the concerns are, and a lot of the concerns are about the vaccine. So I'm like, what's your level of concern about the virus? And they're like, what?
That is the thing that I don't understand.
Right. No, so yeah. Again, we make it can be listening to the concerns. So I'm like, so the person was like, what? I'm like, I understand your concerns about the vaccine. I'm saying, what is your level of concern as it relates to the virus?
Yeah.
Right? And so, because my thing is, one of the things that they were saying, we just don't know how this is going to affect us in a year, 2 years, 3 years down the line. And I'm like, fair enough. It hasn't been around that long. However, we know how contracting the virus affects you. Lingering respiratory issues, lingering
impotency,
death.
There's a lot of things that stay behind and sometimes after COVID leave.
Right. And so and so one of the things that I'm interested in is more conversation about because people having to make a choice. So I think it needs to be put out exactly what you're choosing between, and then you make your decision.
Yeah, because I don't think a lot of people understand that, yes, you may not die if you contract COVID. However, you will have to live with some things that your body wasn't going to before, especially young people. Imagine you now have to deal with breathing problems. Your body might not be able to function the way it used to. You might need a walker. Or I saw a story where a man lost both of his lungs after contracting COVID. Like, there's literal things that you have to deal with after you contract this virus. It's just not, it's not like the cold where you catch a cold and after the cold
you're
gone,
pretty
you're
much
back
the
to,
same after,
It's not that.
And but you see, even us talking about it, we can't literally rattle off a list of things that...
so many and it's so diverse.
No, but not only that, I don't think it's being put out in that way. I don't think that's the way the discussion is being framed. And I think that discussion would help a lot of people in the decision that's being made. Because one, like we were saying, we are now seeing as a nation how this thing spreads. Right? This is affecting everybody knows somebody who has COVID at this point. And we're only 4 weeks into the community spread. You see what I'm saying? So I think it's now a reality that is going to start sinking in for more people that, hey, as much as I may try to avoid it, there's a big possibility that I may come in contact with somebody who is carrying the virus.
Listen.
And then if you understand that along with what the risks are, the known risk. Yeah, it's one thing to say that there's unknown risk with the vaccine and whatever, and you just don't know, and that's but when you start weighing the options, I think if the known risk versus the unknown risks are placed on the table, along with the possibility and the likelihood of you coming in contact with the virus, if those things are placed in front of a lot of people, because when I spoke to the person, he said, to be honest, I had not looked at it in that way, because in his mind, initially, he was being asked to put something in his body, right? But at the time, he didn't consider the risk of contracting the virus that great.
Yeah.
So he wasn't.
A lot of people are weighing the vaccine by itself. And
weighing the vaccine by itself.
It's supposed to be weighed
right.
against.
And so now we're in a different situation now, and I think people's considerations are changing.
You know who I feel really bad for? The people who are in jail, because look how there's a whole cluster already happening in jail, and it's going to be difficult to stop it because everybody's in there with each other.
Have you ever been in a prison?
Yes, I have. That's why I'm saying it's going to be very difficult.
Yeah,
I'm sure isolation in there is not possible.
In the way that
we do know. This is common knowledge that the prison is vastly overpopulated. It's gone way past what its intended numbers. And so when you have so it seems as though. I don't think it seems as though the prison would be a place, and this isn't something that's unique to St Kitts. We've seen how it's run through prisons in other countries, and it's like it's a very dangerous situation. Very,
because in there with everybody clustered and I don't know how well ventilated most of the cells are. I mean, the cells that I saw were outside. They weren't on any concrete or anything. They were like things that look makeshift. So I really don't know how they're going to deal with that, because India ain't built for nothing spreading. India ain't built to prevent nothing from spreading around.
Oh, I was about to say India built for spreading.
Yeah, India ain't built to prevent nothing from spreading. Like, India is the ideal situation for COVID.
That's what I'm saying. So, that is and not only that, I'm thinking about, because as much as we like to lock people away and forget about them, these are people's brothers, fathers,
family
members who, on top of now realizing that they're in this situation with COVID, have not been allowed to visit their families in over a year.
So they don't even know.
So it's stressful on both ends, So It's unfortunate. I mean, even the people that work there.
Yeah.
Even the people that have to go and the prison guards and the prison staff having to go in and leave and thing. I mean,
you have to go home to your family.
I don't even want to fathom what that feels like when you wake up in the morning, put on a uniform to go to the prison where you know there's a cluster of COVID. Coming back home to your kids.
I tell you, there's a lot of jobs I can do in Azem. Like, a lot of jobs I'm not built for. And I'm pretty sure that is one of them. Because even listening to somebody who works on the tracing team, like, I don't know if I could be able to put in all them hours and have to be away from your kids and worry that, like, the people you're testing may have come into contact with somebody else. And now you have to go home to your family and...
Look, big up the contact tracing team one time because they're working overtime.
I don't even know if you consider that overtime.
Overtime. They're just working all the time. Like, instead of overtime, it's all the time. Like, and that's one of the things that I hope people recognize. Like, that is why it was so important for us to try and limit the movement, was so that the health authorities could get a better grasp on what the situation was. It's not just to try and limit the spread and whatever. But I think that you see the amount of people that say was in quarantine in this last.
I don't. You see, you realize that.
It's like you realize they had to test all them people. They got to come on, like.
And then what we need to understand too is that, and we said this since the beginning of the pandemic, St Kitts and Nevis does not have the facility to isolate the entire population, which is what we're now seeing. That people have to isolate at home, and the government has to put their trust in people to do what they need to play their part.
I tell her,
but when we have people just not following what you expect the government to do, how much people could fit up OTI?
Or that they don't close off enough, so don't even.
Exactly.
Bro,
so
I tell you all, I had this situation. I don't know if the woman was joking or what it was, but I in a line and at a supermarket, and there's this woman, she stand up in the line, and of course, no, there's a lot of people in the supermarket at certain times and things. And the woman can just stand up behind me and say, they better hurry up, because you're supposed to be on quarantine. I want to get back home. I'm like, what? But
let's take a break here.
Oh my gosh.
I just don't, I don't know. I don't know.
Think it. Well, guys, we're going to take a quick break and come right back with more Island Tea right here on WINNMedia Scan. Stick and stay.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. WINN FM.
Here are your Horsford's Value Mart IGA Value Club Blue Tag specials from June 3rd through 16th. Essential Everyday Mayonnaise, $9.99. IGA Squeeze Ketchup, $3.99. IGA or Essential Everyday Cream Cheese, $5.49. IGA Single Roll Paper Towel, $4.99. Captain Crunch cereals, $8.99. Red Baron Pizza, $23.99 each. And now our very low weekly value deals. Langer's juices are just $6.99. Dial soap 3-pack, $8.99 each. Ensure and Boost nutritional drinks, $7.49. IGA instant oatmeal, $6.99. Mueller's pastas, $4.99. Betty Crocker cake mix, just $5.99 each. Shop smart, shop Value Mart. Sea listo y haga sus compras aquí a Value Mart.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib, it's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
Welcome back to Island Tea with your faves, Kevon and Azem, featuring Jade Gwyneth Johnson.
Is this your ad voice?
So?
Is this your ad voice?
No, this is the sports anchor voice.
Right. Hey, sports anchors, they're getting touch up right now though.
Okay.
Because regular people coming in and doing a better job.
Listen, you see the TikTok challenge when they was talking when you had to read an ad?
No.
Why?
I try to avoid anything that's a TikTok.
Oh. No, there are some good things over there, man. Like. Ain't all trash.
Yeah, I just my hand I get tired sweeping through the trash to find the gems.
Oh yeah. Yeah, well, you know.
Yeah.
I understand.
Well, let me not say my hands, my thumb.
Your thumb. Yes.
Yeah, I can't take it on.
But Kevon, you know, do our little, intro, yes.
This guy. I love the level of excitement, the enthusiasm.
Not bad at all.
It's not. I have to trick myself into it, and it works. So, let's get into some tea. Let's talk about a blood drive.
Yeah.
So there's a blood drive currently happening for the recovery of community elder Ras Tubal.
Mm-hmm.
They are looking specifically for O positive and O negative blood types. If you can, donate at Blood Bank, which is opposite the psychiatric ward at the JNF hospital. So.
Yeah, I actually met Ras Tubal, and he is one of the gems that we have.
Wise.
Trust me, like my first interaction with him was memorable. I would never ever forget him. The only reason I haven't been able to visit him is one, because he's sick, and two, we have an outbreak, but so we can't really move as we would like to. But anybody who would be able to help, please do so. We always need blood at the hospital. I think this isn't even the only one that I saw. I think I saw another person post that there's blood that is needed at the hospital. So guys, let's just try to help each other here. It's already a tough situation with all that's going on. So let's see if we could help, please.
Yeah, yes sir.
Yeah.
So, yeah. What else can we recap? Let's see what more local news. So we could talk about what's happening with the St. Christopher National Trust. So they have begun the construction of the Christina Monument, the MB Christina Monument.
Yeah.
That's vibes.
Yeah. I am for it.
Same.
Yeah. For all the people who looking at this and making the argument about how public funds are spent, and actually miss me with that, please. Shut up. Real talk. Like yeah. One, you know where the money coming from. Two, like, this is something that should have been done 50 years ago.
Long time.
Like,
they say something new that needed to happen,
Way overdue. Way overdue.
And not only that, three, like, in times like these, we need to have
some sort of happiness.
We need not in a happy situation, but it's things that play to the human side of us, like the human emotion, right, and the human condition. Like, we need things like this, right? And we come in here and we talk about the need for innovation and creativity, and I will be the one to say that I'm happy to see that there was obviously some thought. There was actually some creativity and innovation that went into this, because they could have just got down there and do the usual, put up a bronze plaque with all the names on it.
Or billboard.
Billboard or something, yeah. Like, they could tell this actually a memorial with meaning. I don't remember off the top of my head who was the designer.
Well, I'll read it.
Yeah, you could read some of it, because I think it's a good
St.
thing.
Christopher Post. So the construction began on Saturday 8th of May 2021, And this is happening on the apron of the National Museum building, which is that little circle behind the old Treasury building. So it's being done by Russ Construction, and it should be completed and unveiled by August 1st, 2021, which will be 1 year after the Prime Minister's promise that he made to have the memorial constructed monument. So the concept of it is a series of levels which is spanning 30 feet. Lots of numbers, but it is sort of depicted to be like two half cones in like, you know, towering. It does not state who the designer is, but there are pictures of it if you'd like to see what it is currently looking like and what the finished project is expected to look like. You can head over to the St. Christopher National Trust and National Museum's Facebook page, and they have a post of the construction and the digital rendering of what it's supposed to look like, which I think is great. You know, it looks really, really nice.
Yeah. And again, like one of the things I remember, Louis Black had this this comedy special, right? Where in part he said, "Yo, people don't care what it is. Just build something, people can come. Just build a thing. You ain't gonna get a name, it's just a thing. People can go watch it." And we have things, and we have this now, which is going to help with the remembrance, to commemorate the tragedy, because that in itself, I talk to my parents about it periodically. My granddad, like my mother would have lost the neighbor. The neighbor, sorry, they didn't lose the neighbor, but the neighbor was actually supposed to be on the boat and had come back to the country and sitting at a shop at the time and complaining about the fact that he missed the boat, and the boat had actually begin to come back for him, and then the captain decided nah and kept moving. And so while they're in the shop sitting, they got the news.
Yeah.
You could imagine the range of emotions at that point, like
survivor's guilt.
Yo, but
and someone was saying that my dad's sisters died on the Christina.
Oh man.
And for decades they haven't been able to. They haven't had a grave to visit. Right. And they think that this would give some comfort to a lot of people.
It's a place of connection.
Yeah.
It's a place of connection, especially like you're saying, for the family members of the people that were lost, right? Especially for the family members. So kudos to promises being delivered. Kudos to the designer. Hopefully we get the name. Anybody who knows who is the designer or the group or whoever who designed it, please let us know so we could big them up.
Or even, interview them.
Yeah, get them on the show. Like one of our viewers is saying, we could get them on the show and have them explain the design, the inspiration. For
sure. So if nobody could tell us, we'll find out who it is and reach out. But
yes.
I'm just happy to see that this is something that is happening, and it's happening in this way. And full support on my end for sure. Full support.
I agree with it.
Big time.
What else?
It's beautiful. Before we move on, I 100% recommend going to see what the rendering looks like, because I think it looks great. I think it's fitting where it is going to be placed, and it just looks really nice.
Yeah, for sure.
Next up on our agenda is some Guyana news.
I thought you didn't say renovation of the National Museum, but my bad.
Lights bright to the boy.
What happened?
None.
Kevon's so petty.
No, my AirPods died, so I didn't hear anything.
Hey, what you hear is what you said.
I didn't say anything. You think you're gonna trick? I have proof, the live is there. And you think because you're wearing masks, you're gonna mean you can't get catch.
Yes.
So, the president of Guyana, President Ali, suspends members of Police Service Commission. President Dr. Ifran Ali has suspended all of the members of the Police Service Commission in Guyana, which is less than 24 hours before the court is to rule in a case against the commission filed by the two officers who were not promoted. The suspension also includes the chairman of the commission, retired police assistant Police Commissioner Paul Slow, and Ali, in letters who sent to Stowe and the other PSC members, announced that he was suspending them and setting up a tribunal to look into their full removal as members of the SC. In his letter, Ali said that his decision is based on the advice of the Prime Minister, who had written to the PSC members requesting them to show cause why they should not be removed as members over the decision by the Commission to join an opposition-filled court matter against the government regarding their budgetary allocations and independence. The PSC members had indicated that they had no choice but to join the lawsuit like other service commissions, which is what happened after the government refused to provide it with funding to defend itself in the lawsuit filed by the senior officers who were not promoted. President Ali did not set a timeline for the establishment of the tribunal, but indicated to the PSC members that their suspension is with immediate effect. Last month, Stowe had announced that President Ali had sought to get the commission to promote 2 police officers in the force. There's more, but it's a bit long. So.
No, these things would just be so like messy, right?
Listen.
Yeah,
kind of messy, but
it really is.
You suspend the people the day before? The day before. Okay. All right, friend.
So what do you think that would be the decision? What do you think that would happen?
Maybe they got some information, some information came to light a bit late. And because of that information, they had to take steps. And this.
So what they're trying to avoid with the steps?
I'm not sure.
Embarrassment, information coming out, like.
What I mean, it's a law. It's a court case. So when you're in court, you have to be very transparent and honest. And
you should be.
You should be, I should say. And some of the transparency might lead to other things that they don't want to anticipate. So they may have based their decision to suspend these people based on that. I don't know. What do you think, friend?
Me? I mean, we got a guy and a listener there who are calling and jam us, so
well, they probably should call in and explain how they feel to our Guyanese listeners. What do you think
she's
about
listening.
This one?
She's listening, and she knows who she is. So if you are listening, I'm going to assume you are listening. Call in and tell us.
Yes.
Give us some
insight.
No, but you see, this is the thing with this situation. It seems not it seems, but there's been.
Ever since election day.
Yeah, ever since election, there's been a lot of assertions that there's rampant victimization, biasness on behalf of the government, and in terms of who gets jobs, who gets fired, who gets position, who gets funding, who won. Yeah, so like it just seems as though these things fall like this is just falling in the same.
Typical politics?
I don't even know if this is typical, why. I don't know if this is typical. And you have to understand, like Guyana is a kind of mystic situation because of the different ethnic groups. The different ethnic groups and how that plays into politics and how politics plays into that. And yeah, so here a lot of times it's family history and stuff like that play into people's tribal and tribal support of whichever party and thing. There's so many different variables in a country like Guyana.
Boy.
Area, history, family, ethnic background. So.
And all of this happening, and they're still dealing with a flooding.
That is the thing. That the natural disaster, like a disaster zone. To be honest, like I've been seeing videos and pictures.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is, yes, when the rain stop, yes, thank God. But the aftermath and deal, that's a whole other situation.
New thing they have to deal with.
Somebody asked me the other day if Puerto Rico catch themselves yet. It's like I have no idea.
a good question.
I don't have no idea. Like
That is a good question.
Like when
That we can't answer.
you right now St. Martin right there 20 minutes away. You drive around, you're still seeing remnants.
Listen,
still
when
seeing
I
remnants.
went to St. Martin in 2019, I think 2019, it might have been. My cousin, because she lives in St. Martin, she drove us around and she was showing us all of the places and what it used to be. And
the remnants are still there.
In which packet, man? Then catch back the self yet. So it's boy.
So yeah, but
The Caribbean been going through it.
yeah, prayers and well wishes to the Guyanese people though.
Yeah.
And we hope y'all get this resolved because it's a whole different set of issues now.
Right.
Yeah.
We just gotta wait and see where this thing goes. Yeah. Let's have to wait and see.
Yeah. So, Yeah. Oh, wait, hold on. Someone's asking a question. So we have a question on the live. Someone is saying, I noticed advertising for staycations on Facebook and elsewhere. Given that many locals are taking advantage of the discounted prices, that should be arrangement not be suspended during this period of lockdown. Can this not exacerbate community spread, especially in its establishments that promote that? I don't think I heard the question raised yesterday at the press conference, and it just occurred to me. That's a great point, to be honest.
I had a staycation plan by.
You better plan home.
Yeah, but
yard.
them pause.
Yeah, but you see, the thing is that was a personal choice to pause the staycation. But what this commenter is saying, should it be suspended, on a more official level? Because not everybody's going to make the personal choice not to do a staycation.
Yeah, are the hotels open? I know they're open because people over there, but are they open for bookings, new bookings and stuff like that?
I think that's what the caller's trying to find, the commenter's trying to find out.
I don't know if they are. I honestly don't know. Because I don't know if they would fall. I don't think they fall under essential business. I didn't hear them.
The hotels have to, if there's guests. They can't just leave the people. They can't just leave the people in the hotel.
Yeah.
Hotel workers still have to go to work. They have to go to work.
That is true. But I don't know about receiving new
bookings.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Not the people who are already there, because of course you can't just. But when it comes to receiving new bookings, local, international, regional, wherever they're coming from.
But this brings up a bigger question. Suppose, right, you put in your days for vacation, your vacation fall the same 2 weeks as it.
I would have been pissed. Listen. But you know what's funny? A lot of people, I have friends that came home, right? Big up Stacy one time. I have friends that came home. And as soon as they came home, all of this happened.
Yeah.
So imagine you leave where you are trying to thinking that, okay, things is looking good, we're looking like we have things under control, we have a little movement, things happening, and you come home and this.
Well,
I'd have been
love your family.
pissed.
Yeah,
love your
you
family.
thought you're coming home to vibes and
You go beach and chill out.
Vibes with your family.
Huh?
You better get some sea water.
Yeah.
Full up a pool in your yard.
I was about to say, but remember the water department said don't do things.
Water law.
So you can't really do the pool in the yard.
Use your imagination.
Yeah.
Imagine that you're at the beach.
Yeah, come on. You just cut up half an island purified bottle and throw it over your head.
For a little effect.
Yeah, if you got some sand in the yard, you could put some sand in the bottom of the bottle so you got a salty taste.
Yeah.
If not,
put some iodine. Not iodine. What is this?
Iodized. Iodized salt.
Throw a little in the water. Splash it over your face for effect.
I like pink Himalayan sea salt.
Yeah, but we ain't cooking, friend. Yeah, we ain't cooking. We're just trying to vibe as best as we could.
Yeah. Watch here. Cut out the top off an island purified bottle and douse yourself.
Yikes, this I would have been so annoyed. I know, personally, I know my friends they're so annoyed because granted you couldn't have
take lockdown.
Yeah, you couldn't have see this coming. There's no way for you to have anticipated that we would have been in this situation
at this time. Yeah.
Boy, what a time to be in this summer, as soon as we was about to get a little summer,
I think I'm going to hot girl summer, not this year.
No, but this is an inside summer. How long is summer again? How much more months ago?
Summer's about 2 months.
At this point, we don't have any, so let's
we'll
go.
see y'all in 2022. We'll try this again.
Hey, and the thing is, right, all the people who are working on the summer body.
Like me, I just
keep working.
Well, I mean, I got time. Watch here. When I come back out in 2025, I'm gonna be a real hot girl, you know.
I slim enough, so nobody could tell me a thing.
Yeah, slim guard.
I'm telling you, when we could frolic on the beach in 2025. With short shorts and stuff. Can't wait. I kind of saying 2025 because I feel like, 2021 right off. 2022 iffy.
Well, here's the thing. When you had 2020 and 2020 was iffy, so we were waiting for 2021.
I don't
2021
know
come and nothing changed. So at this point, we're just writing off some years in advance.
You remember all the people who was like, I cannot wait for 2021 to start. I'm
as if the second, as if when the fireworks go off for New Year, Corona gonna blow up with it.
I was like, y'all really think that like that's not.
Speaking of hot girls, morning, Weedy.
Yeah, good morning. Ooh. We actually have a hot girl waiting to talk to us actually after this quick break that we're about to jump into.
Oh,
since we can't.
Yep.
Yeah, since we can't experience carnival for ourselves, we're gonna talk to people who can.
Oh, and since you're talking about carnival, let me also big up Mr. World who listening. Mr. World,
big up yourself.
Big up yourself, legend.
A frequent listener.
Yeah, man. Wally, Poopa World.
Vibes.
Vibes are understatement.
But yes, guys, we're jumping into what is we're jumping into a quick break as we get set up for our next interview. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
I should have done like a Wally outro.
Your goals with Lucozade, get it good. Look under the cap, find the code, win it. Thousands in prizes, iPhones and TVs. Or win 30 grand US dollars for your goals, that's goals.
For a chance to win $30,000 US. Purchase any Lucozade Energy promo bottle. Look under the cap and find the code to win iPhones, TVs, and free Lucozade for $30,000 US to energize your goals. See website, social media, or press for details. Lucozade, taste the energy.
Good morning, my little superheroes. Tell me, if you could have any superpower, what would it be?
The power to read minds.
Super speed. Pew. The power to heal the sick.
Well, you can get smart, speed, and good health with the superhero trio from Hanley Orange. Hanley Orange has delicious omega-3 burst, sugar-free multivitamin liquid, and flavored vitamin A, C, and D chewables to support a strong immune system, healthy bone development, and acute mental performance for superheroes like you. Part of the Hanley Orange family.
Welcome back to Island Tea with your faves, Kevon and Azem, featuring Jade, Gwyneth Johnson, and we are jumping right into one of our favorite segments, Eat Local, with my friend, the Global Carnivalist. Welcome and good morning.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, we're good. I'm just I'm admiring your swing, your aesthetic,
right?
you know.
Thank you. Well, we said Island Tea, so I had to make myself,
feel like I'm in the islands as well.
What are you drinking? I saw last night that you posted that you will be having your tea. What's in the cup?
Yeah, it's just like a vanilla black tea.
Oh, nice.
From William and Sonoma. It's really good.
Delicious.
Yeah.
Delicious.
With a scone, I had to get my fake breakfast ready.
Oh, I love it.
Your fake breakfast.
I'm loving it.
So what's going on, friend? We miss you. I mean, we didn't get to see.
I know I missed you guys too. Literally, I think you guys were one of the last few people I saw before the world kind of
Yeah.
Oh,
went away.
Yeah.
It's true,
you think about it,
Yeah.
Had we known what we knew now, we would have partied a little harder. I think.
Oh my
I don't know if our bodies would have been able to.
You know what? You're absolutely
I would have been
right.
on my face.
You're absolutely right. But
Remember you and Kevon? Yeah, you and Kevon was going through it.
We were going to. Yeah, we were going through it.
But yes, for people who don't know who you are, who don't know what your profession is, what you do on a day-to-day basis, give the people a little tea.
So, but short intro, like I'm Globie. I'm literally just a carnival lover and pusher of the Caribbean all over, like every single island. I love our culture and want to showcase it to the world in an authentic way that's coming from us. And so that's just always been my story, like telling the Caribbean story from the Caribbean perspective, if you know what I mean. And through that, like I've been able to travel to multiple islands and countries to be able to enjoy the multiple different festivities, from going to different sets and learning each island's different culture is also part of it, because although we are all one, we are vastly different at each region. So yeah, that's just what it's been about.
So you said you go to different Caribbean countries and you learn about their Caribbean, their carnivals. What did you learn from Sugar Mass?
First of all, well, not that it has really anything to do with Sugar Mass, but I guess from the molasses days, you guys really know how to make a drink. Like, it's wow. That was like every drink I've had in St Kitts was a little bit stronger than what I've had anywhere else. And the second thing, though, that I learned, what is it, Kevon?
We don't use chaser, that's the problem.
That's probably why I was like, wow, everything is just, wow, this is just so strong. But I mean, it helps because the parties go from 0 to 100 in 2 seconds because of that vibe. But the other thing I would say I love is how you guys really like embrace your local music. Like from the minute I landed, like yes, there's a variety being played, but I was almost forced to learn Kittitian music. So by the time is it Kittitian or Kittitian? It's Kittitian, right? Making sure I say it.
Kittitian, yeah. Mm-hmm.
There we go. Okay. I was like forced to have learned every single song. By the time I left, like I singing, Bad Bunny, people sing singing all the local songs. So like I love that aspect of it.
Nice.
So that's what I miss for real. Like going to each place and then like whatever the local dishes are. I don't remember what St Kitts is because I was hungry every single time because we were fetching back to back. So I don't even think I got a chance to eat. Time. Yeah, we were on the go the whole time. I don't even think we got a chance to eat for real.
No, we did, but most of the times we ate.
When Jade, in between running to outside, when you were trying to find your fish sandwich, that time?
You see, don't say that like that. I mean, we did make sure you got some food in your system.
I was hungry. No, I was hungry every day.
Listen, you and Kevon are always hungry, so that don't count.
No, we were hungry every day.
Well, we were hungry because we didn't have the time. So
that's true. We did not.
Yeah, y'all. Everything was a fete, then eat.
Yeah. You fete first, feast later.
Yes. So what have y'all been up to? Like, what's going on? Give me the island tea from St. Kitts.
Well, come on, you want to give us the bad news?
Yes, bad news. So, I can't take anymore.
So, well, St. Kitts has been in a COVID-free utopia for over a year, and our utopian bubble finally popped. And
as bubbles do.
Up until that point, we had 60 something cases for the entire pandemic. And now that came to an end. We're now at 200 within the last
about 4 weeks. Yeah, about 4 weeks. Come on. Yeah.
Then yesterday we had our first COVID-related death.
What do you guys think is causing this uptick? Oh, what's causing the uptick? Do you think?
But we managed to not have any community spread. Like, so the cases that that were coming in were basically, you know, either nationals or visitors coming to the island, and they would be in quarantine. So, you know, it would be isolated until you get your negative results, and then you could join the population. We had a situation where there was a breach, which I guess could have been expected because the nature of COVID, it's kind of like hard for you to guarantee 100% that you keep it where you want it to be. But we had a breach, and then once it got into the community, then we saw it doing its thing. It had its own little
and then
fete.
it just went from there.
Yeah, it had its own little fete.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
like, just when you think we're getting back into a groove.
Right. Oh, boy.
Yeah. But on the upside, we hope things are improving. Well, we hope things are improving now. At least we have a vaccine, which is a very different dynamic than we were in even 7-8 months ago.
Yeah,
I think so. I think hopefully you guys get back on the lower end of that and can move forward. Then on the Caribbean scene hype side, carnivals and fetes are coming back. Like,
yes,
that's the next part of it. If we're looking at the happy side, and people are traveling again, passports are getting stopped. Like, I found my little $4 pouch last night. I was so excited. Like, start adding to this again.
I'm
Like,
pretty sure our passports we got kidnapped.
Yeah,
because
passport dusty.
Trust
dusty.
me, I could only imagine.
Sometimes I sleep with my passport just because I miss it so much.
Aww.
Yeah.
Like, hey, friend.
No.
Oh, Lord.
I don't even know where mine is.
Oh,
my God.
that's a travesty.
I know.
Yeah.
When is mine expiring? Oh, no, I got time.
I mean,
but let's talk some of what's happening. So, like you said, we see some fetes coming back. We see Miami Carnival is basically full steam ahead. And as the global carnivalist, you know, lots of people truthfully looked to you for assistance planning carnival. You know, your carnival calendars and itineraries were amazing. What is it like trying to get back into that? You know, it's been a long time. We had to put pause on everything.
Yes. So from my perspective, I'll give from both perspectives, right? Because I think from a consumer perspective, and just naturally being a patron, it's exciting. You're seeing new fetes coming out or fetes are coming back. It's kind of like a glimmer of hope, right? And I think there's a little bit of anxiety there for the people who might not necessarily be ready yet and or want to see how protocols and stuff are being rolled out. So I completely understand their perspective as well. I think as a creator and or blogger in this space, things are happening so quickly. Like yesterday, I was literally telling myself, I feel like my head is going to fall off. Because now that everything is picking up, it's back to back of things that are happening literally every week. And I don't know if you guys are paying attention. All of the parties, which thank God is the control, like crowd control, are happening in bubbles, right? And when I say bubbles, it's one city, one person is putting on that event for 3-4 days, right? You pump in that amount of time and then you put to and from. So if even me as a blogger and or patron, we're trying to plan this, like I think the new hiccup or hurdle to cross is like, okay, I need to be in multiple areas at different times. Like one time I'm partying in New York to now it's Florida. So I think it's fet hopping now. That's actually the thing. So that kind of creates a new experience for us to all get to enjoy. I think it kind of changes the dynamic of what the fet scene has been like before. I would say that is the opportunity that COVID has created. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
It's also, I hope at least promoters are taking this opportunity too, because now project management has to kick in. You're putting on multiple events on one, in a shorter time span. And the thing of, this DJ didn't come or drink sellout is not an excuse. Like, you're literally having me traveling here for 4 days to party. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think all of those things, it's changing. But I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it.
We're looking forward to seeing you because we have to live to you right now on the
what do you want to see? Let me know, so I'm making sure I'm covering for my friends in St Kitts.
Well, you know, for me, I'm excited to get back into the fet life, but I guess as a fetter myself, I'm a bit. My hurdle is I don't know which fet I should resume. You know, I don't know when to resume because
okay. So question is that based on yourself?
For me personally, because for me, I'm going to assume that the first few are going to be a bit of a trial and error, seeing what worked, what didn't work, and we don't know what the failure is going to look like. We don't know if that's going to result in COVID cases or if it's just poor planning. I don't know what that's going to look like. So for me, I'm just hesitating. I'm just really hesitant when it comes to what event I'm going to resume my Fet life in, because I don't want the one I go back to be
the unruly one. Yeah. I could kind of help in that regard. I could kind of help in that regard a little bit, because now there's some event organizers that are the same ones putting on the event. So for example, Teach Head Crew, who's based in New York, they are now putting on their their third bubbled event this year, right? So you kind of get to look back to like April and see how that one did. I actually had gotten to speak to a couple people who went. So when I had decided to go to Fame like a week ago, I was like, okay, this is kind of how this is going to pass out, because they had an event already. Jamaica, for example, too, this is their second event they're now doing this summer. The first one was Miami. They'll be doing New York in July. So you kind of get to see and monitor, like you're saying, Kevon, how they behave the first time. And you can kind of be like, all right, I know I can do this event with this group again. But this group setting now, I'm not really seeing too much isolated events just happening like on their own.
Yeah, what I've actually been seeing, and I have a lot of friends who are like involved in production and stuff for some of these events, is, for instance, you'd have a promoter who would literally like find a resort somewhere, book out the resort for a few days, and it's just non-stop events like during the whole time. Yeah. And I think people are enjoying that a bit, because it's familiar people. Because some of the carnival troops I know are doing that out of New York. I'm going down to Mexico, finding a resort and just like living it up for like a weekend. So things are changing. I think we have to adapt, and I think that's what we're seeing.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I think that's even the idea of how you're saying we can just book out the resort. What that does, remember, there's so many, so it eases the minds of patrons like Kevon, right? Where you have to go through certain steps for you to even go to the resort. You got to get a test.
Right.
You have to, you have to apply. You have to do like the insurance card. So we at least can hope to, at very minimum, you did those 3 steps for you to be here, that you gonna, kind of coordinate yourself accordingly. And when I went out,
and the controlled entry,
for the most part, right? And the controlled entry.
Well, I think we're in a position where we're just waiting to see what ours would look like, because I think we were actually right before we got our new cases. We were going to have a very packed weekend with events, but they had limited capacities. So I think, I'm not sure, but I know we're looking at other countries who are having events, and I know that means some of these events are fully vaccinated events and other protocols. So it would be interesting to see what we come up with after this new wave.
I would love to see that. Me too. It's interesting though, Jade, you mentioned about fully vaccinated people. And it's interesting because like there's people like Kevon, or even me for real, like I want to make sure I'm going to be safe. And then like I saw one promoter announce that his Fet was vaccinated people only, and you should see the response. So it's interesting. It's a lot of backlash. So it's interesting, like you want to be safe or not? Like which one?
And people want the thing.
People want the Fet full stop.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think maybe it's not the same one that you saw, but I know recently Private Ryan announced that his event, what is the event called again?
Soca Brainwash.
Yes, that would be fully vaccinated, and I know that he got a lot of pushback on that one from people who.
And in New York, that where we had a big issue with our COVID cases. You know what I mean? Like. So that's interesting, because it's funny how the world is, I guess, dynamic with different people, but it's just funny how some of us are like, oh my God, I don't know who to jump back with, and like there's an organizer trying to make sure everybody's safe, and people like, oh yeah man, I ain't coming. Like, whoa, what's that? How did we get here?
Yeah, it's Azem just showed me a video, and I want to cry now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he showed me a video of a it looks like a juve.
Well, yeah. Like I said, I was working with some friends of mine. They're actually a carnival troupe, and they did that whole get a resort and things. So they had a whole weekend of events, juve included. So, yeah.
That sounds dope. I haven't done a juve yet. I'm kind of scared to do juve.
Right? Because
I just feel like juve literally your mouth open, and when like people excited and whatever, I could just see particles flying on them, and I go, I'm not there yet. It's already not a event.
Yeah. For me, juve is extreme social interaction.
It's a little too wet for me. Right. I can't brush in juve, you know. I can't be in the VIP like, no, I'm good. I can't do that.
No, like
you can't switch out the juve.
No,
I can't.
The dynamic of juve, especially, not even parade, because parade, well, for us, the first day is a little more reserved. The second day is kind of similar to juve, but the dynamic of juve is literal crowd interaction and everybody rubbing up on each other and alcohol flowing and all kind of things just in the ear. Like, people get paint and all kind of things in the mouth. So imagine
something drop on you, you don't know if it's corona or
paint. You don't know what it is.
Imagine somebody splash corona paints in your face. Like, yeah, you don't know it's on the bottle or something. And corona spraying your face. I can't do that. Juve not for me.
I would pass out on the spot.
Listen. No facts. Like, I'm gonna see y'all in Juve in like a year and a half. Like, later.
Yeah.
After I get my booster shots.
Trust me, it's going to be exciting to see, and it's also going to be something very treacherous, because now you have to put in place these barriers to protect people. You don't even know what the carnival committee is going to put in place when it comes to these events. Because
these old people. I hope you guys are helping them out.
Oh no, we got some young ones. Yeah, we got some young ones here. Yeah. Our chairwoman is quite young and quite full of energy and accustomed to parties and stuff.
Not to be ageist, but I do think carnival committees need mixed groups because like carnival is moving forward.
They do.
And you need people that are forward thinking, helping to plan these things. And that's with anything. Urban planning, literally gardening, like there are new ways to do everything. We don't know everything, you know?
I completely agree, because the only way for us to push forward is if we have some new and innovative ideas. And, you know, sometimes the older people not really too up with
They're stuck in their ways, man. Like,
yeah.
Like, okay, so we used to do it this way 10 years ago, but this is not efficient anymore.
And while it worked 10 years ago, it does not work today, and we need to understand that. I think that being in denial about the fact that things are changing is what sometimes it keeps things back.
Yeah, and Corona literally showed us that we need to do things differently when it comes to carnivals and the exposure that people have to carnival. Because, for example, our last carnival was virtual, and that brought a whole new dynamic to what we know as carnival, because this isn't something that we were accustomed to. Mostly, you only get to enjoy certain things if you are there physically, if you go to the shows, if you go to whatever they are having. But because of the fact that we have limitations now because of this pandemic, we were forced to go virtual. Words. And from what we saw, because even Azem was a part of the whole carnival committee, and you know they produced some really good things. So I'm hoping that they bring Azem back, because he's needed, and that they continue with the part that they're on, implementing the whole virtual aspect of carnival.
But I think the thing right now is like it's just innovation, right? Like you're not only gonna innovate like how we present carnival to people, but even how we interact at the carnivals, like
the experience.
and the experiences that we have, how the fets function, entry. Because it's one thing to be like, okay, guys, you have to do a test, you have to present this and whatever. But even doing those things, you have to maintain the entertainment factor. It has to be something enjoyable. The experience is what it's about, right? So you have to find ways to innovate even these things that on the surface look like so boring and more of a hassle than anything else, and create something around those things to continually enhance the experience.
I agree wholeheartedly. These things are necessary. And we can't go backwards, not when we're in a better position, not when we see the benefits of being innovative when it comes to carnival. We just can't go backwards.
I love that you guys are saying this, because I thought I was one of the few of the perspective that even though, yes, this last year and a half, last 15 months has truly sucked, I think what it allowed was for most brands, companies, people, individuals to kind of take a step back, reflect, and kind of adapt and be able to be like to evolve, right? Like, so the companies who are not necessarily tech forward, now you have the ability to do menus online or contactless delivery, right? So for the brands that necessarily didn't have a message or outreach program with their consumers, now they have one. The ones who didn't, have mission statements. Like I've seen it along the way of even my day-to-day friends, just little things that people have picked up that they've had a chance to kind of widen their skill set in this time. So I hope everybody, like you guys are saying, are also taking it as the opportunity to like, yes, this messed up, but this is how we can move forward. This is what we learned. Let's try and do this.
Yeah.
It's forced a lot of innovation, and I hate that this is what had to force it, but let's not waste the time.
They say God works in mysterious ways, right? So,
right.
I know what was big so we can take a step back.
I know what was big too is last year, Carnival content creators, yourself included, your content is a lot of Carnival, and people are looking at your pages for Carnival, and then when Carnival hit, a lot of people were struggling with content. How did you really navigate a time like that? Like I know it was rough.
Bro, I almost took off my glasses. Like I need to cry because not to be dramatic. So let me tell you, like I feel like the first 3-4 months, especially for somebody like, and I'll even disclose this part, I travel for my job, like as a career, right? So in addition to traveling for work, I travel for Carnival as well, which is like my hobby, that passion that makes money too from time to time, right? So when all of that stopped, in the beginning, I'm an introvert, so I'm like, perfect, like I have finally some time to like just sit on, right? Jade, you're laughing. I was excited, like first 3 months, I home, I clean, I do this with my yard. Like I've never done as much kind of realigning and spring cleaning in my life. So even while I was doing that, creating was still an extension of like, hey, I'm an introvert, so you can kind of see me being at home and being a carnivalist, but like we home, so it's good. I think once Memorial Weekend passed and I in New York and I realized we really not fetting, I think something started chipping my brain. Like, okay, so we really
no, this is inside.
Right, like we inside. Okay, because that really like once you see parties or staple things in New York, you know that because let's be honest, America don't really care enough about people's health to shut down everything. Everything is economic, right?
Yep.
So once I literally saw that like the economy was being impacted, I'm like, all right, yeah, we stationary for a while. So once I kind of got my grasp with that and realigned myself to the like, okay, we in this for the long haul, it was really more so about showcasing a little bit more of myself, but also teaching more about the Caribbean. So I picked up like doing Caribbean Trivia Tuesdays, because I realized although a lot of people travel to and from the island, if they're not like living there, and I'll even be honest with you, a lot of the people, like my friends who I know living in the Caribbean, don't know a lot of things about the other islands. So,
yikes.
So I picked up like I know, girl, but I take all of that data as a learning opportunity, right? Because you don't know what you don't know. If nobody just teach it to you, you don't know, right? So I picked up like little tidbits and things that I've been trying to do along the way to like educate about the islands, but still in a fun way that like I can still express myself, but kind of still meet in the middle. But it was rough, trust me, because like people not looking at you also as a person. Like anytime you post something, it's almost like, oh my God, great content. But I'm like, damn, it's not content. Like I just showed you like I love the color pink. You know what I mean? So you'll get that. Or maybe somebody doesn't even respond to the engagement, right? Because like you are showing a personal side and they're like, girl, I don't care about that, like wedding costumes. Or people literally talking to you like, I'm a customer service agent. Like I'll just get messages like, when is this happening? Like, who are you talking to? Like, I'm like, you don't think there's a whole person behind it. So furthermore, if you have a question for Quartz, go on message Quartz. Why are you in my DM? So like all of those things it was just an adjustment. I know any person that's a creator in any capacity of media, literally that is just taking photography to being at your house, like it's been difficult because we are in spaces that are interactive. Especially if you are in travel or you need to collaborate with other people. Like it was difficult. It was really difficult.
The entertainment industry on a whole, like
Yeah, like girl.
This has been a struggle.
Absolutely.
It has
but
been
if
a
you didn't
struggle.
take that time, I would still say to pick up a new skill set. Like I had to kind of flip my perspective. The other day, actually, I wrote a list out of all the things and skills I learned while we were in like our quarantine time. And I'm like, you know what? Like Globes, you kind of had to look at it from a different perspective. Like, yes, you've been inside, but look at all of these things that you picked up. So that's how I had to look at it. But I know the entertainment industry, even in some islands, like Jamaica, for example, they're really trying to have a big push because that is a big part of their dynamic of their culture. So a lot of people still not making money, and that's their bread and butter.
Right.
That is a fact, and that is a sentiment we share, especially myself and Azem, who are literally a part of this industry and are unable to work. Like Azem travels for work, well, he used to. He can't now because, you know, he's stuck here.
That's why I'm saying he's sleeping with the passport now.
Yeah.
He missed leaving.
It's tough.
Yeah.
Even you know, and even for me,
health.
as a consumer of the products that Jade and Azem produce, I feel so. Yes, I'm an introvert. I love to not do anything and love to stay inside, but I need moments where I could just, have some fun and let loose and then go back into hiding. But being stuck in hiding for a long time is semi-stressful.
Yeah, tobacco and steroids. Tobacco and steroids.
Big mood. No, but you know what it is? Another introvert said it perfectly. They were like, it's one thing when you want to stay in your house. It's different when somebody tell you to stay in your house.
Yeah,
that was the difference. Right.
That is a fact.
When I was out, I was like, okay, I stayed home because I want. I can stay home for 3 months, no problem. Tell me don't go nowhere now.
Yeah, like being forced to not be able to do anything.
Yeah.
Yikes. But Globes, we have to wrap up soon because, the essentialness of our work is coming to an end. But what will you be up to for coming up? Where are you going next to fill us?
So it's my birthday month, so July about to be lit. I'm just telling y'all that right now. I'm about to be wilding out. Like if y'all see me on the Empire State Building wilding out, close your eyes. Let me stop. Like, I mean, I'm a wild out, but not as bad as that. But so Val weekend actually is coming up for Miami, and you guys know I love Lucian Carnival, so I will definitely be attending that. So thanks for reminding me. I have to start ordering clothes and all of those things. So.
Yeah, we're going to look through
follow
you.
Me so y'all can be locked in because I'm going to have everybody boobies on the camera.
Well, we're literally locked in, so we have no choice.
Yes. Please do.
Sadly, yeah. But we'll be looking up for your content because that's all we might have to get us through this right now.
And for the people who
WINN is 98.9.
No, that was not me. That was technology. The ghost in WINN FM.
Yeah, but I guess he got jealous because I was about to ask her, like, where do people, contact her and follow up with her life. I want to live vicariously through you as well.
You can follow me on Instagram or TikTok at Global Carnivalist. So just the word Global Carnivalist IST at the end.
Sweet.
Or just go through Keezy's, let's call him Keezy because he's but go through Keezy's followers. I'll be there. I'm always in his comments harassing him. So
yes.
That option too.
But thank you so much.
No problem.
My
it was
friend.
fun talking to you guys. I miss you guys. I'll see you when I come.
I know, Lord, we miss you too, and we can't wait to party with you again whenever we are allowed to safely.
Yes.
Can't wait.
Yes, but guys, what today? I mean, even to be totally honest, I ain't even feeling it. But it's Friday.
Today is let's just call it the 7th day of lockdown. Let's just call it that.
Okay, the 7th day of lockdown.
Yeah, we can't even say Friday. It's like usually Friday. It's actually just Friday today.
Oh my God, I don't even know Fridays are a thing anymore because pandemic. Every Friday is the same.
Every day is a Friday.
We're losing track of the days at this point.
Yeah. It's either today, yesterday, or tomorrow. That's the only way I classify days.
And Sunday 3 days out the week.
Oh boy. But yeah, guys. Remember, we gotta stay indoors, stay safe. We want to do what we could do to make sure that we can get back outside and get back to all these wonderful things. Kevon right now is struggling. I know, even just talking about Carnival today, I've seen him shed at least 2 tears.
Yeah.
At least 2.
At least.
So you guys stay safe, stay indoors. But thank you guys for tuning in. We're gonna be back on Monday, Jade. Oh,
I know.
But yeah, we won't change it for the world. We love being here with you.
Y'all say we're essential, so we're doing what essential people do.
Yeah, yeah.
And going to work. Yes.
Yeah. So remember, you could check us out on Facebook and YouTube at WINNMedia SKN, or you could check us out on Instagram at Island T SKN. So remember to go check us out. Yeah, all the sexy clip them. All of you guys who wondering why Kevon is Roder Man, like you could go and check it out on past streams.
Big up for one time. One day we'll send Kevon your way.
When the place open up.
Yeah, when the place open up. Oh, guys, for anybody who would be locking in to listen to Sandra, unfortunately, she will not be having a show this week.
No.
I know, but she will be back next week. So, stick and stay. And you can go back on the WINNMedia SKN Facebook and YouTube page and watch an old episode if you miss her. She is right there. And so is all of our other content for the station. So, yes. Content to fill your hour until Voices, which is at 11 a.m. today. But Azem?
Yeah, I mean, really and truly, what's going to happen now is that we're going to hear from the Prosecco Papi himself, the Fet Van, the Slim God, the Chapstick Don, the Duke of Frigate Bay, the man himself, Kevon Hanley.
I'm here to tell you that, remember, you can't be everybody's cup of tea because you is not a mug. See you on Monday.
Yes.